What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Spotcast. We have a very special episode today and tomorrow coming. Maybe another one today.
Our first ever live episode in person.
Yeah, we're both together finally. Makes it a little easier to do. Don't have to worry about anyone's connection dropping out or anything. So.
Or be driving in a car on your way home from Knoxville.
Yeah, made the drive from Knoxville to Nashville yesterday. Sucked. Wasn't the best. Wasn't the worst. Yeah, we brought the microphone out. Finally got a legitimate microphone, so if it sounds a little better, that's the reason for it.
It's because we've gone legit.
Yeah, we are too legit.
We're big time now.
Yeah. But today we're going to do a preview and predictions.
And catch up on a little wrestling news as well. Just a lot of shit's happening in the wrestling world.
Yeah. Been a really crazy week last week, but I guess we'll preview and predict Takeover Philadelphia first, and then we'll get into all of that at the end of this.
Yep. I think it's gonna be it's honestly a pretty interesting card.
Yeah.
There's not a bad match on here. The one thing me and Sam kind of were talking about, we don't really know the match order is going to be, because the Aleister Black Adam Cole Extreme Rules match kind of throws a monkey wrench into things when you think about it. A match of that caliber, with the feud they've been having, could really go on. Probably in the co-main event spot.
It's a really big match. So
we're just going to kind of go with what we thought was the match order with our predictions. Start off with the opener of Cassius Ohno versus Velveteen Dream. I think it's kind of an easy one to pick. I see Velveteen Dream picking up a win here. This feud hasn't been built up too much. Kind of feel bad for Cassius Ohno.
Yeah.
The guy gets back into NXT and is honestly doing just as bad as he was the first time.
Yeah, and I said to you yesterday, we were talking about this match, Cassius seems like he's on what Andrade used to be.
Yeah.
But I don't think Cassius will ever get up to where Andrade is now in NXT.
No.
I think he'll be put on the main roster before he even has a NXT title match.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was one of those guys who he was brought in on the pretense of, we'll give you a title match eventually.
Yeah.
But then I think, right after that you had Drew McIntyre, Roderick Strong, Bobby Roode all at the same time.
He's just gotten really unlucky with all the guys they brought in.
Yeah.
It's been bad.
So you probably agree, Dream as well?
Dream. Yeah, it's definitely Dream.
Yeah. Up next, we have the Undisputed Era versus what we think will be up next, the Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT Tag Titles. I think Undisputed Era is probably going to pick up the win here. I think it's kind of Authors of Pain's swan song. I think they'll probably be. I think we'll be seeing them Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. I agree. I just don't see any reason for, even if they are going to stay on NXT, I don't see any reason for Authors of Pain to win the titles back here. Because if they don't show up next week, they're going to be on the main roster soon. Either way it goes.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I think everyone kind of thought if they didn't show up after War Games, then they're definitely showing up after the Rumble.
Yeah.
Then we think we'll more than likely probably have Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's Championship. I think this is the last three matches on this card I think are real toss-ups. There's an argument to be made for Ember Moon to extend her reign. She chased after that title for so long against Asuka, and finally got it. But it's Shayna Baszler, and they've kind of built her up as this unstoppable force. And I honestly, I see Shayna Baszler taking it here. I don't know that. Not that WWE doesn't have confidence in Ember Moon. I just don't know that they care to keep the title on her.
Yeah, I've got Shayna too, but I'm starting to think the company is losing confidence in her. It just, when she first had that title match against Asuka, she was like just pretty over with the fans. Mm-hmm. But as time went on, even now, I don't think she's that over. I don't think she has that much support.
Well, and you can't have a babyface lose to the same person three times and expect them to get over whenever that person hands them the title. We talked about this whenever Ember won the title. I thought it was kind of...
It felt weird.
thought it was kind of a dick move on the WWE's part.
Yeah.
Up next in the co-main event spot, we have Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. I'm really excited for this one. I think it's going to be violent and fun. I really hope they just let him go. Maybe get a little color out there. That'd be pretty great.
Yeah.
This is a toss-up, and I feel like this match and the main event are very tied into each other as to what NXT is going to do going forward. I think the winner of this match is more than likely going to be in the main event at Takeover WrestleMania weekend. It just really depends on who walks out of. Well, let me take that back. If Andrade wins in the main event, whoever wins this match is going to be at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah.
That being said, I see Adam Cole giving Aleister Black his first real loss on NXT. I mean, we know he lost in that Fatal 4-Way, but I think Aleister Black is probably main roster bound soon, not because he doesn't deserve the NXT title, but because that guy's main roster ready.
Yeah, and to play off that, I have Adam Cole as well. I told you this yesterday. I think Adam Cole is going to win, and we're going to see Aleister in the Rumble Sunday.
Yeah, and I think honestly that's the biggest debut you can do out of NXT right now.
Yeah. And it's not that predictable. I don't think a lot of people are going to expect that to happen.
No, I don't either. I think a couple of like hardcore fans might be thinking about it, but
yeah.
I think if he shows up, the general populace would be very excited and very shocked. And then of course, what we assume is going to more than likely be the main event: Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship. There is so many options they can do with this match, and yet at the same time, I feel like they could pull something that we're not expecting whatsoever. I want to believe Johnny Gargano is going to win. I want that to happen. I think that would be probably my personal favorite moment of WWE in a very long time, getting to see him win that NXT title. And also getting to see Tommaso Ciampa come back and beat the shit out of him right after he does it. I think I'm going to go with Gargano. I think WWE knows a money feud whenever they see one.
Yep. Stole the words right out of my mouth because it's exact. Yeah. That wasn't an easy decision to make though. Like we've been talking about this since yesterday, and I still can't.
And I'm not confident in that decision either because Andrade just won the title.
Yeah.
And he's had a good run with it so far, but it hasn't been long. And I could definitely see them wanting to put him in the main event of Takeover at WrestleMania. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. I think it's every takeover is always interesting. I feel like this one is a very straightforward one. We don't have anything too fancy outside of the Extreme Rules match. No fatal 4-ways or anything like that. But I like that. I think it's going to be a night of very solid matches all around.
Yeah. The more I think about it, I feel like they wouldn't want to give up on the opportunity to have Gargano and Ciampa on WrestleMania weekend. I want to believe they wouldn't want to miss out on that.
And I do too. I feel like and the more I look at the booking of Johnny Gargano in the last I don't know what 3-4 months.
3 or 4 months, yeah.
I mean, really since Ciampa beat the shit out of him. He picked up a couple of big wins. I think he beat like Fabian Eichner on NXT a couple times, but then he lost to Andrade two times due to the whole Ciampa thing. And then he goes out there, surprise entrant for this Fatal 4-Way, wins it. I want to believe they're actually doing something with their booking.
I do too.
But it's the WWE.
It's hard to let go of that. It's like I'm like programmed to believe that they're gonna mess it up somehow. But
and I don't want to think like that. But at the same time, it's very hard not to think like that.
Yeah. I want it to happen. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to be upset if it doesn't happen, but I'll be upset if it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Like, I'll understand if they don't do it, but
it'll suck.
I'll still be kind of mad if they
Yeah.
don't. Like Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
It was a rough night.
Yeah.
We wait almost 24 hours, avoid the internet, avoid spoilers, and then we're sitting there watching the match, and we're slowly thinking, wow, Naito's not winning this.
Because LIJ won like every match leading up to that, and Chaos dropped every belt, and it was just like...
I was
no.
like, well, this is it. There you go. We're screwed.
Yeah.
But oh well. Regardless, I think this is going to be a really good takeover card, and this might be a little premature. I think it's going to be one of the better takeover cards we've seen because not that there has been a bad takeover card in recent memory. I just think whenever they have the ones that are just these straight up matches, it's good. We've got a solid opener with two good workers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a great tag team championship match, a blood feud. The flying space ninja versus the former UFC dropout. Which I say that, but I think that'll be a good match. That's gonna be a good match. And then of course Andrade Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano will probably tear the roof off.
Yeah. I don't want to say I'm not excited for the women's title match, but I'm not like looking forward to it that much out of all the other matches that are on the card.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely I'm least interested in it.
Yeah. Just because I'm not interested in Ember Moon's title run.
Yeah, I'm over Ember Moon. Part of me wants Shayna Baszler to win it just because I feel like the NXT Women's title is always better when a heel has it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, babyface women's champions just are very hard to get into.
Yeah.
But regardless, this is I think wrestling wise, there won't be a bad match.
No. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it'll be a bad match. I'm just not exactly excited for it.
No. So moving on to wrestling news in the world.
Okay, so what do we want to start with?
I'll let you go first. I feel like you probably got at least one or two things you want to go.
I do.
Talk about.
I do have something to say actually.
You
do. So first off, we start the week off with this guy who got arrested about a year ago for illegally selling anabolic steroids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he got arrested about a year ago for selling anabolics, and an interview came out. It was early last week. It was sometime last week.
I mean the interview his report that he referenced in his interview came out about a month ago.
Okay.
But the interview he did just came out a week ago.
Right. Okay. So that being said, there were a few people he called out. Most notably was Roman Reigns. Okay, so we'll drop that there. We'll just drop that there for now. Monday, before Raw, this girl goes out on Twitter and says that she was sexually assaulted by Enzo Amore in a party in Phoenix, back in October. So they suspend him on the spot. Understandable, that makes sense. And then Tuesday, was it Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon?
Tuesday it comes out that there had actually been charges filed. Nothing had come up of it, but
right.
Enzo had never informed WWE of it.
He had known
which is
since October.
Since October, and that is strictly against their policy.
Yeah.
One of the things that I watched actually referenced Rich Swann and how his first phone call when everything happened was to the WWE to let them know this is what has happened, and that's why the WWE said, okay, we're going to suspend you, and Rich Swann's probably going to get his job back.
Yeah, the charges were dropped recently.
And his wife came out and said that it was a horrible misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Things got very mixed up.
Right.
And he's going to probably get his job back. And honestly, I wouldn't be shocked to see him and Cedric Alexander as the NXT or the Cruiserweight title match.
Yeah, I would do that.
But
yeah, they released Enzo on the spot once that came out that he had known he was being investigated for this sexual assault that had taken place in October and had not informed anyone in the WWE about it, so they released him on the spot. He was also Cruiserweight Champion, so they
get the title.
Yeah. So we don't know what they're going to do with that yet. I guess we'll see Monday, Tuesday, 205 Live, maybe on Raw. But what I'm trying to say here is...
Before you say what you're going to say, I've thought about it, and I want to point out a couple of other instances as to why you're correct.
Okay.
Back in about 2004, not 2004, I guess it was 2008 or so, a report came out from that clinic, in Florida, about a doctor there who had been prescribing anabolic steroids to several different athletes in different sports, notably in the WWE. People on that list were Mr. Kennedy, Chris Benoit, Edge, Kurt Angle, to name several others. All of them were at least suspended, on the spot, done, and that was when WWE hankered down on their anabolic steroid policy and on their drug testing policy. That brings us back to this week when this interview comes out, and it's noted that Roman Reigns has been named in a fairly reputable report about this guy who has been charged with prescribing anabolic steroids.
And that leads into what my issue is. So, what the WWE did with Enzo, it's a really good show. He was accused, they suspended him. It came out he was being investigated, he was released. They did a really good job with that.
They did exactly. They did exactly what they should have done with him.
With Roman, however, it's been almost 2 weeks since he's been called out in that interview.
And they've said nothing.
They've said nothing. He's dropped the Intercontinental title on Raw, which means absolutely nothing because I'm sure that he's either going to win the Rumble tomorrow or he's just going to win that Elimination Chamber number one contenders match. And he's still going to go to WrestleMania and win the Universal title.
Yep.
That's the issue I have.
Yep.
He's not being punished for, if this was anyone else on the roster. And I don't have a problem with the man himself. I think he's a great person from what I can tell.
And honestly, me and you have warmed up to him.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
In a lot of instances, and we even kind of agreed his Intercontinental title reign was refreshing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but he's a great person from what I can tell. He's a great father from what I can tell. He's a great ambassador for the company. He's become a great wrestler, and his promo work from 2014 until now has just been... he's grown so much into someone that I can actually tolerate watching on TV now. My issue is not with the man himself. My issue is the way the company portrays him and the way they treat him. Now, I understand he got knocked for, what did he get, Adderall?
Yeah,
supposedly.
I think that's basically what it came out to. Was the last time he was suspended, he had been taking Adderall to get pumped up before matches and shit like that.
And they suspended him. That's okay. Okay.
Yeah, fair.
That's what you should do. Yeah. So he does have he has a knock against him. He has a strike.
Well, he did kind of. He got punished fairly. Then he lost the title, and then he also got pinned clean at Money in the Bank and at Battleground, and he got his punishment then.
Yeah.
But now
he is in the Royal Rumble. That's confirmed, 100% confirmed by WWE's Twitter account. He did drop the Intercontinental title. Whether that's the beginning of his punishment or not, we don't know yet. We're speaking on this on the Saturday after Raw.
Yeah.
So that's where his punishment begins. Then okay, I don't care. They need to suspend him, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
There shouldn't be a double standard with that. If this were, I don't know. Well, if Randy Orton were to be brought in again, they'd probably fire him, and he would never be able to come back to the company. 100%. That would be his third strike.
100%. And this is Roman's second strike. I mean, he should get. I honestly think he should get a 60-day suspension.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say take the job away from that because I understand he's. I mean, like I said, I think he's a great human being. He's a great father, but you still have to follow the rules. It doesn't matter where you are on the match card, and it's the same thing that we're seeing from back in the 90s with the politicking and backstage. And I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm not saying he himself is doing it. I'm saying it's the company doing it for him.
I agree. I think the company is politicking in their own best interest and doing what they want, what they feel is best for business, and just ignoring it.
Yeah, but it's like it's like you're looking at two different pictures. The WWE on one hand is doing the right thing, and on the other hand, they're just completely fucking all it up. Like, I don't understand how they can fuck up two things at the same time. And they got one right, and they got the other one just completely wrong.
Well, and it's. I mean, I think they've wanted Enzo gone for a long time, and I think this was just okay. Good. This is a solid reason to fire you anyway. Get out.
Yeah, and that could be the case, and that could just be them getting really lucky with something like that happening. But I think they would have done that for anyone. I think they would have
outside of Roman.
Absolutely. Maybe, I don't know, something that big. I don't know they could look over.
With the rape thing. Sorry, I thought. Absolutely. I think
a steroid scandal is something that could be looked over in the public.
Oh no,
but something like that
rape thing that you can't. And honestly, I've been looking more into it, and it seems like the girl is kind of almost recanted what she said. But like, the problem is, one, I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that Enzo Amore did not put himself into a situation where it was completely plausible that he could have.
Yeah.
And you hear that excuse for women all the time where they put themselves in a situation. No, I think Enzo probably put himself in the situation.
Yeah, exactly.
You can tell very clearly by the guy's social media presence. He has a big ego. He has a big head. He doesn't care.
Her report lines up exactly to the way I feel he would be acting in that situation.
Exactly. And, there have been things that are coming out that make it seem like Enzo probably didn't do it, but the case still remains. He didn't tell his employer.
Exactly.
He lied.
Yeah. The reason he was fired is not because he did it or he did not do it. It's the fact that he didn't report to his employer that he was being investigated by the police for a federal offense.
Yep.
That's the issue. I think a lot of people are misunderstanding that. Because I've seen it all over the place. People are they're saying, well, you need to reinstate Enzo and give him his job back. He didn't do it. It's not that he did or didn't do it. It's that he didn't tell them that something was happening about it.
Exactly.
Whereas, like you said with Cedric, his first phone call, he didn't call anyone to get bailed out. He called his employer.
He called his employer. He let him know what was going on because he wanted to make sure that because he knew, here's the way that no matter how you circle it, it's still Enzo's fault.
Yeah.
If he didn't do it, if he knew then he didn't do it, tell your employer, tell them you didn't do it. They throw their full power behind you. They get you to use some lawyers.
Yeah.
They clear your name.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
You didn't do that.
Yeah.
You lost that option when you didn't do it.
So I'm sure if he had told anyone in the WWE press in October when this was first coming out, could still be on TV now.
Yeah, well, and that was when his push was really starting, was right then. And now, granted, if he had, honestly, maybe that's why he didn't tell him.
It could be.
He didn't want to lose his little push he was getting, and he decided, you know what, gonna just forget about it. Yeah,
and at the same time, him doing that to not lose his push caused him to lose his job. I think I'd rather lose my push than lose my job.
100%. I would rather still have a paycheck coming in at the end of the day than have it be sitting. I mean, he's not even getting indie bookings.
No, I don't. No, there's no one in the indies that are. I mean, there'll be small promotions that will book him, but I don't. He's not going to be popping up in Ring of Honor in New Japan.
No, he'll be showing up at your downtown bingo hall.
He might be NWA champion in a couple months.
Dude, Nick Aldis versus Enzo Amore. Go and book it, Billy Corgan.
Is there anything we missed out on? Anything big this week?
WWE's been kind of stagnant, getting ready for the Royal Rumble like they always are this time of year. Raw 25 blew dick.
Yeah, that was awful. I was about to bring that up. It was bad.
Yeah, you watched all 3 hours.
I watched all of it, including the pre-show.
4 hours.
So all 4 hours of Raw 25.
Plus,
What a mistake.
I think it's one of the few times in my life I've ever been glad that I had to work late.
Yeah, and it started off hot. It started off really hot. You had Steph and Shane in the ring, and Vince out there, and then Stone Cold comes out and stuns Shane twice and Vince once.
And it doesn't say
Beer
anything.
bash. Doesn't say anything though. He didn't say anything. He didn't even look at a microphone.
Which, the more I think about it, I kind of like it because
Yeah.
like that's just badass Stone Cold
Yeah.
coming in and kicking ass, taking names, and drinking beer.
But everything after that, downhill. Awful. Terrible show.
I couldn't even enjoy Miz's Intercontinental title win because
No.
the rest of the show was just so terrible. And I love the Miz.
I couldn't enjoy Miz's Intercontinental title win because it made me believe that he's just going to win the Rumble. That Roman's going to
Oh
win the
yeah,
Rumble.
100%. I was about to say, well, Miz isn't going to win that.
No.
No, now we probably won't even have the Miz in the Rumble.
No. But, I don't know. It was just an awful show. I can't believe it was that bad after how good Raw 1000 was.
You know, and I think Raw 1000, they viewed it as almost a new season of Raw, or like a new series of
Yeah.
Raw. Because you had so many huge moments occur at once.
Yeah.
They kind of turned the tides. You know, you had that was when Brock Lesnar returned, right?
No.
What did he return?
I think he returned. I think it was a Raw after Mania.
It was Raw after Mania, but
I think.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm trying to remember what all happened at Raw 1000.
You had Rock come back. That's when Punk had his heel turn.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Like that was. I mean, that was a huge episode. And you actually booked your one legend correctly.
Yeah.
Every other one you had was booked to shit.
Yeah. But yeah, Raw 1000, after, because Raw 1000 is like one of my favorite episodes of Raw I've ever watched. So I had high expectations going into Raw 25 because I thought it was going to be around the same level of quality as Raw 1000. And it just wasn't. It was just bad all around.
No.
I didn't even watch SmackDown the night after, so I don't know how SmackDown was.
I think they, in all honesty, they overbooked themselves with the double arena thing.
Yeah.
And then after they did it, they were like, "What the hell are we gonna do?"
Yeah. Yeah, and the fans at the Manhattan Center, they were paying like $300 for tickets.
Yeah. I mean, they were wanting refunds.
Yeah.
They were rioting. They were so pissed.
Because you go back and watch it, nothing happened at the Manhattan Center. You had they had the Undertaker promo, which is like one of the fucking worst things on the entire show.
You want to know something I noticed about his promo though? He didn't wear any of the stuff that he left in the ring at
Yeah.
WrestleMania, which I like that. That
Yeah.
was a good touch.
Another weird thing about that promo is he came out with the lights on, and then I'm thinking, oh well, maybe they don't have the control over the lights at the Manhattan Center, so maybe that's the reasoning for it. Well, then the very next segment they have on Raw at the Manhattan Center is Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy,
yeah.
and Bray Wyatt comes out with the lights out. So
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there thinking, like, okay, what the fuck? Bray Wyatt gets the lights out, but the fucking Undertaker doesn't?
And what about the Matt Hardy Bray Wyatt feud? What the hell happened to that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
Fuck the Rumble.
honestly, after we let Bray Wyatt go and get syphilis or whatever the fuck he had, and reset and get Sister Abigail out of his system, I was excited for this feud.
Yeah.
I was enjoying the stupid shit they were doing with it, you know. Not like I thought it was going to ever be anything great,
Right.
but like they could put on some good matches, eventually probably end in some freaky weird match and call it a day.
Yeah.
But then they throw it away on Raw 25.
Well, I think they're doing it to lead to a match at the compound because Matt Hardy tweeted something about deletion at the Hardy compound or something like that on Twitter
Okay, wait.
not too long ago.
So, how far along are we on Jeff Hardy's recovery?
I don't know. A lot of people think he's going to come back tomorrow.
All right.
He was at Raw and he looked really good.
Maxwell's walking now.
Yeah.
The Bludgeon Brothers are looking for something to do.
Oh God, no! Please don't.
Let me get the Bludgeon Brothers and Bray Wyatt
Fuck me.
versus the Hardys, King Maxwell. We'll even throw Rebby in there. Well, shit, fuck,
Senor Benjamin?
They can have Senor Benjamin. It'll be great, man. That's what I want. Give me that.
Oh my God. Fuck. I hope
If
that doesn't happen.
WWE wants to do this character justice, that's how they do it.
But yeah, I hope they do the Hardy compound match. That'd be interesting. But at the same time, I hope they don't because I feel like it's just going to lead to another House of Horrors match.
I was listening to another wrestling podcast
How
earlier
dare
in the
you.
week. Yeah, I know.
How dare you?
I have to listen to other podcasts to do our own podcast. But they were talking about, there was a poll on WWE.com,
Mhm.
and it was like, what match would you love to see Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy end up in? And there was like House of Horrors, TLC, like all these other options.
Oh yeah, I saw that. They had an Inferno match on there.
Yeah, Inferno match. The number one at the end of the voting, House of Horrors.
Why?
Because WWE rigs the system.
Why?
I refuse to believe that was legitimate. I refuse to believe that was legitimate.
I hope not. That match was awful.
Oh, it was terrible.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen.
I have never seen someone have a fridge thrown on them and go, wow, that didn't hurt.
No.
Until then.
No.
Yeah. Terrible, terrible match.
Anything else?
A little bit of NJPW news after last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up to some pretty intense news.
Yeah, I woke Sam up this morning, so I'm an early bird and I get up no matter what at like 9 a.m. and have to get moving. And
I'm not.
I get up, do my normal routine, getting out of the shower, checking Twitter. Sam is like half asleep on my couch, kind of looks over. I go, hey, Minoru Suzuki's the Intercontinental Champion. He looks at me. He goes, wait, what? And yeah, Minoru Suzuki won the Intercontinental title last night. And evidently, we haven't watched the match yet. I think that's coming up here soon.
Yeah.
But beat the shit out of Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Not what I was. You got to give me more time to wake up and like become a person for me to process something like that. That's.
I honestly couldn't believe it. And
oh my god.
But hey, you'll talk about great story progression. The man owns his hair versus hair match, shaves his own head.
Yeah. And
then he goes out there and once again, we haven't seen the match from Twitter and Facebook. I have heard that it's an amazing match, and it's also very evidently hard to watch because Suzuki just works the shit out of every part of Tanahashi. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
I'm very excited to watch it. I think me and Sam are still relatively new to the NJPW game, about a year in now.
Yeah.
Be kind of outside of Okada Shibata, probably the most brutal match we've watched, I would guess. Well, not counting Kenny and Chris.
Yeah.
Jericho.
Yeah, that was a really good match. We haven't talked about Wrestle Kingdom.
You want to do a quick little Wrestle Kingdom talk?
Off of memory? Yeah, we'll try to.
Honestly, I just have a couple things I want to talk about.
Okay.
First off, the Junior Fatal 4-Way match of the night for me.
Absolutely.
Oh my god, I get goosebumps thinking about it. The entrances for all of them were great, and then Marty's girls.
Marty just stole the fucking show.
Oh my god. And I think what made it for me too, though, was even through all of the stuff he had on, you could tell how nervous he was.
Oh yeah.
And you could tell he was just shaking. Yeah. But man, that was so... me and Sam were talking whenever we were watching it, and as soon as it pops up, we were, 3 hours away, and we both immediately, oh! Probably, I've rewatched that entrance multiple times. Probably my favorite entrance I've seen ever.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Oh.
It was amazing. Yeah, Marty killed it with this entrance. He made those wings himself.
Yeah, Cody.
Which I think is fucking nuts. Yeah, Cody tweeted out that he had made those wings himself.
Yeah, man. I mean, that just shows how much all those Bullet Club guys and Marty care about wrestling and giving to the fans. And
yeah, they understand. They understand how big they really are.
Absolutely.
And how much work they had to put in to stay that big.
Exactly. They know what it means whenever they put in that extra step to do just that next level, just crazy shit that we've never seen, we've never been a part of. The Junior Fatal 4-Way overall though was just a fantastic match.
Yeah.
Great, a lot of great spots. I think we knew from the beginning Will Ospreay was going to win. Not that I'm mad about that though.
Yeah. I think we were both holding on to the chance that Hiromu would win.
Yeah, we.
I think it was understood that Ospreay was going to get his win over Marty and pin Marty.
Yeah, which is what they should have done. That's how that makes sense, and I like that. And it seems like Ospreay and Hiromu is going to be the next feud. And I'm fine with Ospreay dropping the title after his first defense.
Yeah.
Back to Hiromu. I'm ready for Hiromu to be the junior champion again.
Yeah.
Let's see. Never open weight title hair versus hair match was actually pretty good.
It was pretty good, yeah.
I like that.
Suzuki controlled the majority of the match.
Mm-hmm. Very brutal match.
Yeah.
That choking spot where I've gone back and watched it one time since then, but it was It looks at first like Suzuki's just sitting on the turnbuckle, he's just choking Goto.
Yeah.
And the camera pans back, and you realize Goto's feet are this far off the ground. And you're like, oh my god, that he is hanging that man by his neck right now.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah.
And Goto's not holding onto the ropes, he's just sitting there flailing, just choking.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
I think it was a turning point for Minoru Suzuki, though.
Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
As we can see now.
Yeah, I think we're finally going to see that brutal Minoru Suzuki that everyone talked about used to be in, was it Pro Wrestling Noah, where they were before?
I guess Pro Wrestling Noah, yeah.
I'm excited for it, though. I'm hoping we get less Suzuki-Goon shenanigans and more...
And just get more Suzuki
yeah,
destroying everyone.
just beating the shit out of people. Then, of course, we had the fantastic Kenny Omega versus Chris Jericho match.
Amazing.
It felt like a fever dream the whole time.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem real.
I was like 15 minutes into the match, and I was like, I'm not watching this.
I can't
This is
believe
not
I'm
actually
watching
happening.
this. Absolutely brutal match. I don't know if you've listened to it or not, but Kenny was on Chris Jericho's podcast.
Okay.
And they talk about kind of planning the match and how they had planned out some spots on the outside in that same area that Will Ospreay did the moonsault off of the staging.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what Kenny was going to do. Well, they're backstage watching it, and they're, of course, in separate locker rooms. And Kenny texts Chris and goes, they stole our fucking spot. I'm like, shit, what are we going to do? And Chris was like, just figure it out while we're out there. And I don't quite remember what exactly they ended up doing there, but I remember...
They did the Kenny... What the fuck? Springboarded off the ropes over the railing onto the table.
Yes, that was what they did instead. Yeah. And that was just an on-the-fly spot.
That's crazy.
And it was a really interesting interview. Just kind of gave some great insight into the match.
Yeah. I'll have to listen to that. It's hard for me to listen to Jericho's podcast. It's like littered with advertisements.
Then you have to listen to his new song 6,000 times,
Yeah.
and I just can't handle that most of the time. But
I love you, Chris, but God, it's hard to listen to your podcast.
I subscribe to it because when there's a really good one like that, I have to take a listen. But outside of that, man, I cannot do the advertisements.
Yeah, it's awful.
Although maybe I just didn't notice it. This one, he did recently switch to a new podcast network.
Okay. So it's not Podcast One anymore?
No, I believe it's Westwood One now.
Okay.
And from what I've seen, Westwood One typically is pretty okay with their advertisements.
Right.
So we'll see.
Well, see, it's weird because Stone Cold's podcast is through Podcast One as well, along with Jim Ross's, I think.
We'll see.
And Stone Cold has like maybe 2 or 3 advertisements per show, but he does them to, like himself, so it's not that bad. And JR does the same thing, and JR's is like really easy to listen to.
I wonder if because they don't get the same consistency out of him, they just make him have more advertisements.
Maybe.
I don't know that his is as popular as those two either.
Right.
JR's barbecue is a pretty popular. I love JR's barbecue.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of it. But yeah, they go in depth in the match to talk about the spot wherever Kenny pulls out the fire extinguisher, and how in Japan you can't find just the light spray fire extinguishers we have. All they have are the hardcore foam ones. And so they had to go and buy a CO2 tank, the same CO2 tank he attached to his gun in the entrance. And they had put it under the ring.
Yeah.
And it was a very specific spot, and it was right next to a medical kit. But it was like one of the stage medical kits, like which has a bunch of tape and stuff like that. And they're like, okay, surely no one's gonna use that. Well, so then Marty Scurll gets his fingers broken in the Fatal 4-Way.
So that's 2 spots that the Fatal 4-Way fucked up for this match.
And so he decides, hey, fuck it, I'm going to take my fingers together. And he goes and he pulls it out. The CO2 tank goes, boop, halfway under the ring.
Oh,
and so
that's why the cold spray was brought into it instead.
Well, and that's why whenever Jericho has him in that lion tamer, Kenny is all the way under the fucking ring. Because it was supposed to be just right there, and he was going to turn around and boom, spray it at him. And but he had to climb all the way underneath the ring to pull it back out. It was evidently pretty rough, but turned out great.
Yeah.
And then of course, the main event, which happened.
A lot of people are enjoyed that match. I did not like it.
I just wasn't a huge fan of the match overall. I could have dealt with a Naito loss if it was like a
really good match.
A really good match, but it just didn't do it for me.
It felt too. The lows of the match were really low.
Yeah.
The highs of the match were not very high.
No.
It's like when the match started to pick back up, it dropped back down.
And my thing is, they keep pushing the get rid of the Stardust Genius thing. We've been doing this, from what I can tell, for 2 years now with the guy. And everyone's like, no, his he just wanted the main event. He got his main event spot. No, it should be about getting the title and having a goddamn title reign. That I get in JPW. I get their booking most of the time. I'm sorry, the title is still what you are going after.
Yeah.
You can't. It annoys me that they keep doing the little micro story lead up thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid they're gonna miss the Naito train.
Yeah, I am too. And you can't convince me that he wanted a main event match more than he wanted to actually win the title.
100%.
That makes no sense.
No. I'm sure whenever Guido explained the booking to him, he was like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'll smile at the end to make it seem like I'm okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't tell me that that's what he wanted.
Is that all we got?
I think that's all we
Until
have.
tomorrow. Big show tomorrow.
Big show tomorrow. A
It's
Royal
like 4 or
Rumble.
5 of us tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna have a couple of guests tomorrow for our Royal Rumble preview podcast. Should be fun.
We won't say any names yet.
Yeah, we won't.
I don't think we've talked about them either.
Yeah, we have. I think we have probably 3 different people in mind that could be coming to join us. Heard one of them before. 2 of them would. Or actually, no, you've heard 2 of them before. I think. Only one of them on a pro wrestling podcast, though. But we'll.
Who's the other? Well, I'll talk to you.
We'll talk about
I'll ask you about it after.
We'll talk about it later. But be on the lookout for our Royal Rumble podcast tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in for our NXT Takeover and I guess kind of January recap of pro wrestling.
Yeah.
And
we're going to try to get Blue on tomorrow.
Yeah,
via telephone call.
Yes.
If he'll actually answer my phone call.
Yes, we're going to try to get Blue on. Blue was one of the masterminds of this weekend.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you're a dad, you have to be a dad.
We understand that, but I'm gonna try to call him in the morning when we're recording.
Yep, we're gonna try and get him to hop on and give us his thoughts about the Rumble and what he thinks is gonna happen. But
he's gonna defend that Spotcast championship. That motherfucker
won. That Spotcast championship. That asshole. Man, we might end up with like a
it's be like a 5-way, 6-way match.
It might end up with a 6-pack challenge. Really, we gotta figure out how we're gonna predict and score.
I think we should do. You get multiple options for your Rumble winner, since that's such a hard match to pick. There's 30 fucking people in it.
I think we have to divide it by the amount of people we have, and then that's how many options you get to pick.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. Be on the lookout for the Rumble tomorrow. Enjoy Takeover tonight, and don't forget that if you're up late tonight, there is a NJPW New Beginning show. Jay White and Kenny Omega for the U.S. title, and then the Bucks and Show and Yo for the junior tag titles.
Yep, should be good.
Yep.
Should be good.
Take it easy. Have a good night.
Peace.